The warrior never loses any battle. War is first won within. It suits him, doesn't it? Because that Sunday in Le Mans, Marc Marquez didn't just race his Ducati through chaos and weather and strategy. He raced his past. He raced his doubts. He raced the ghosts of Jerez. And this time, he didn't crash. He brought it home. 20 championship points, a heroic second place, and more importantly, the championship lead. This isn't the Marc Marquez we've known all these years. If you've been following this channel, you already know we warned you. After Jerez, you'd see a different Marquez. Still instinctive, still explosive, but matured. A man learning to win with calculation, not just domination. We are watching a transformed beast. And yet, under that evolution, the old instincts are still alive. He was the only one who could beat himself. And at Le Mans, he didn't. Yes, Zarco won. Yes, history will write that a Frenchman finally did it on French soil since 1954. But let's not sugarcoat the full picture. Marquez started that race on slicks. He entered the pits knowingly accepting a double long lap penalty, a choice that would have broken lesser men before the race even began. But he didn't flinch. Then, he came out with wet tires and found himself 9 seconds adrift of the leader. And yet, through all of this, he made it work. With calm, with calculation, with complete control. From that moment on, beating Marc Marquez is no longer a weekend task. It's a championship dream others will have to chase. Because now, beating him is nearly impossible. The day Le Mans turned to chaos, the French Grand Prix, a weekend that began with sunshine and ended in disbelief. As the grid lined up, dark clouds loomed, but no rain. The riders committed to slicks. But on the warm-up lap, the skies opened. Chaos erupted. Every single rider dove into pit lane, and the race start was aborted. Then came the twist. Due to new rules introduced after Marquez's chaotic pit exit in Austin, anyone who changed bikes after the warm-up lap would face a double long lap penalty. A total of 13 riders, including Marquez, Quartararo, Vinales, Acosta, and even his brother Alex Marquez, accepted that fate. They started the race knowing they'd be riding uphill before lap 1 even began. What followed was madness. Bastianini tangled into Pecco Bagnaia, taking out the 2-time world champion and blowing the championship wide open. Quartararo, France's great hope, started from pole, but the rain came again. He crashed, so did others. Riders scrambled back to pit lane. Wet tires came on. The race turned into a survival test. And as everyone around him fell, literally, Marc Marquez endured. The warrior thinks differently. There's a quote that fits even better now. The basic difference between an ordinary man and a warrior is that a warrior takes everything as a challenge, while an ordinary man takes everything as a blessing or a curse. Marc Marquez didn't look at the rain as bad luck. He didn't complain about the penalties. He took it all as part of the mission. On lap 7, he served both long laps with surgical precision, not rushing, not forcing it, just executing, the way champions do. And then came the pit stop for wets. Out came Marquez. 9 seconds behind Zarco, a situation where many would have panicked. He didn't. He found a rhythm, didn't chase lap times, just settled into what the track allowed, rode with his head. Zarco was gone, too far ahead, and realistically not a title threat. But the rest? Crumbling. Pecco out. Alex? Double crash. Quartararo? Gone from pole to gravel. Even Aldeguer, who was ahead, eventually faded behind Marquez's consistent rhythm, a Jerez memory that saved his season. Marquez later admitted it himself. The fact that I did a mistake in Jerez avoided the mistake today, because if I came from a victory from Jerez, I'm 80% sure I would crash today, because I know myself. That's not a quote from a man who wants to win a race. That's a quote from a man who wants to win a war. Jerez changed him. Before Le Mans, Marquez was already in form. He dominated practice. On a 20-lap-old medium rear tire, he set fastest times, broke lap records, looked ready to destroy the field. But he never forgot what happened at Coda or at Jerez. He'd led both weekends, crashed in both. That memory haunted him, and that memory saved him at Le Mans. This was his redemption arc. A rider who once pushed every lap, now waiting 5 laps behind Quartararo before making a move, because he had something greater in mind, the championship. Zarco's masterstroke, Honda's resurgence. Let's not take anything away from Johann Zarco. The man deserves every bit of celebration. LCR Honda. Home race, wet conditions. No one gave him a chance, but someone in that garage had the foresight to trust the radar, and Zarco trusted them. He started on wets when most switched to slicks. It was a high-risk strategy, but it paid off when the rain returned. The lead ballooned. 8 seconds, 10 seconds, 12. Eventually, he crossed the line 19.907 seconds ahead of Marc Marquez. A victory sealed by strategy, execution, and calm. The French fans roared. Their anthem rang out for the first time since 1954. Zarco delivered Honda a win no one predicted. But in the bigger picture, it was Marc Marquez who made the statement. Because winning on a day like that can be luck. Surviving with precision when others fall, that's championship form. The title picture shifts. Let's talk standings. Marc Marquez now leads the 2025 MotoGP Championship by 22 points. Pecco Bagnaia is 51 points behind after a disastrous Le Mans. Alex Marquez, who led coming into France, leaves with 0 from the weekend. The biggest threat? Marc Marquez himself. And now that he's learned to control that, good luck to the rest. Fermin Aldeguer, rookie grit. A quick word about the rising star, Fermin Aldeguer. The 20-year-old was ahead of Marc Marquez before the bike swap. His pace on wets was just slightly below Marc's. On another day, without that extra lap, he could have taken more points off the Ducati factory rider. But even finishing third, this was a statement from Aldeguer. The rookie has arrived, and he's fearless. Ducati's gamble is paying off in hindsight. Ducati's decision to pick Marc Marquez over Jorge Martin was bold. Controversial? Yes. Risky even. But now, it's starting to look genius. Because when the conditions get tricky, when the race is unpredictable, when chaos arrives, you don't need the fastest rider. You need the one who doesn't blink. And that man is Marc Marquez. This is the man who once rode with a dislocated shoulder. The man who came back from career-threatening injury. The man who left Honda after 11 years to bet on himself. Now he's making Ducati look like the smartest team in MotoGP. What's next? Now we enter the middle phase of the season. Tracks are coming where Marquez is strong. Mugello, Sachsenring, Assen. If the rest of the field doesn't regroup quickly, this gap could explode. Bagnaia needs a reset. Jorge Martin needs to heal. Alex Marquez needs to find consistency. Because if they don't, Marc Marquez will run away with this title. And it won't be a surprise. It will be inevitable. Final thought. Let's go back to the helmet. Imagine all the noise inside it. The Jerez memory, the wet track, the penalties, the crashes around him, the fact that he had to finish, that he needed those 20 points, that every movement of the throttle could cost him the lead in the championship. And yet, he didn't flinch. He rode like a warrior. So let me leave you with this. A warrior takes everything as a challenge. An ordinary man sees it as a curse or a blessing. At Le Mans, when the world turned chaotic, Marc Marquez didn't pray for luck. He prepared for war, and now he leads.